Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brainy Barbie. My name is Allison, and on here, we talk about all things self-education, skill stacking, and succeeding in the future of work because we're trying to get our money up and pretty girls learn skills. Today is a special video because this is the first video that I will record since reaching 500 subscribers. So that is definitely a big accomplishment. If you know anything about growing on YouTube, you know that gaining subscribers is work. So I'm very happy. I'm very grateful to anybody that has subscribed to me, watched the video, watched the short. I am grateful for you, and we're on the road to 1K and more, and much more to come. So thank you so much. And today I want to talk to you about how when you don't understand human behavior, you'll always be emotionally reactive, and how resilience begins when you understand human behavior and psychology. If you have any type of brain cells, then you'll know that we live in an emotionally reactive, emotionally undisciplined, developmentally arrested world. And today's video and podcast episode will be specifically for the people who have the courage to build something out loud, whether that is through content creation, entrepreneurship, or both. Let me tell you something. You can't expect other people to understand you. You can't expect other people to give you permission. Most people will do nothing meaningful with their lives. Most people will spend their time complaining instead of creating something to take action. Seeking validation from the masses is foolish. I've said before in previous videos and articles that sharing online is its own skill because you need thick skin and you need the resilience to match, especially when you start seeing success, especially when you start getting traction. And recently, I have been put to the test and have been forced to take my own advice. And I have a story for you. So part of what I talk about is succeeding in the future of work, specifically through content creation. And I am mainly talking to entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and creators in general when I talk about this. And a big chunk of any type of future of work conversations that you hear is AI. That is a fact. And I am simply broadcasting that, and I am simply a messenger. And when I tell you I have been called everything but a child of God for talking about AI and how it's already, keyword already, being implemented in our day to day. I have received death threats. I have received death wishes. I have had my intelligence insulted, and I have had my character assassinated. And the gag is that these are the same people who use AI hate to virtue signal. They tell me in one breath that me using AI and not being a complete hater of AI, they tell me that is immoral, but somehow wishing death upon me isn't. I don't know. And the irony of all of this is that such comments and messages I received was under a video I titled, AI Hates is a Form of Performative Morality and Fake Concern. The jokes will always write themselves. I don't know what type of morality is against emerging technology, but is okay with wishing death and ill will on another human being. Mind you, I received a comment just today on TikTok of somebody saying that, oh, I'm ruining the environment and I don't think that I deserve to have death wished upon me. Are you people okay? Yes, I am the cause. I am the one destroying the planet. You know, let's blame this. let's blame the brainy Barbie. I'll be the villain. I'll be that if I have to be. These people are demented. But anyway, do you see the performative morality? At the end of the day, if you are just such the pinnacle and the epitome of morality, then you wouldn't be okay with wishing death on somebody. I don't know how. I have not done anything to warrant that kind of attack on me. You're allowed to disagree with me, but you're not allowed to insult me or to wish ill will upon me. At the end of the day, I'm still here. What are you going to do? Second of all, as for fake concern, I said what I said because at the end of the day, other than bitching at me in the comments, what are any of these people doing about AI if they have such a big problem with it? Quickly. For people with such strong opinions, they aren't doing much about them. I, at least, have the balls to do so. And that is what people hate. And I say all this to tell you, if you are building something out loud, you need resilience. It is a non-negotiable. And you build resilience by understanding human behavior and psychology. When it comes to the content creation game, I approach it very strategically. Every post is a case study. Every comment is fuel for me. I alchemize everything in my favor, and I see all forms of attention as free marketing. And my ability to garner attention is power. Attention is currency, and I use every last drop of it. And when I say this, I don't mean that I create content with the intent of rage baiting or provoking people. However, if people choose to feel anger towards my perspectives, so be it. I have been commended in the past for my ability to be bold and straightforward online. And the reason why I am able to do that is because of the fact that, again, I understand human psychology and behavior. I don't internalize people's actions towards me. I definitely don't internalize the behavior of people with no profile pictures and private accounts. I cannot be shamed by people who could never last a day in my shoes. These people can't even have a profile picture, and you think that they could have the guts to broadcast their opinions on social media? They could never do what I do. Resilience is a life skill. Understanding human behavior is a life skill. They are also both business skills. Understanding human psychology assists with marketing. Understanding human psychology assists with selling. Emotional regulation, byproduct of resilience. That is also a life and business skill. The ability to think clearly, to think strategically, to understand people's behaviors and not internalize them. You can't be emotionally undisciplined. At the end of the day, the ability to observe someone's behavior, understand it, and not internalize it requires a level of critical thinking. And at the end of the day, emotional reactivity weakens critical thinking skills. Which brings me to my next point. Once again, the reason why I say emotional regulation is a business skill is because I've said in the past that emotional people are broke people. And the reason why emotional people are broke people is because making money and business endeavors in general, but making money requires a level of stoicism. If you study successful people, they all possess a level of stoicism. And the reason why money making requires stoicism is because you can't allow your feelings to get in the way of your execution. At the end of the day, if you're running off of emotion all the time, you'll never get anything done. It requires a level of being able to compartmentalize and put your feelings to the side to get a task done for the greater good or for a simple personal goal or endeavor. Making money is offensive to most people. I cannot tell you the amount of times I have seen people on social media be dissed for using social media as a means to promote themselves and their products and services. I too have also been dissed for using social media as a way to promote myself. That just recently happened to me as well with the whole AI fiasco because I recently released a prompt playbook. And shameless plug, by the way, but speaking of the prompt playbook that I just released, it's not just about typing in crap into the ChatGPT text box. Anybody can do that. I am talking about using AI in a more meaningful way within a business context, the ability to basically turn AI into your own personal employee, your second brain, and to be able to be precise in your prompting in order to have AI do the tasks that you want it to do and to talk about it with precision in order for the AI to perform the way you want it to. Again, we're on a different level, and those who are meant to hear will hear it. But yes, it's called the Brainy AI Prompt Playbook. The link to that will be in the description. You can never shame me for using social media to promote. But anyway, Social media was created for profit. Social media was created for enterprise. If you get angry at people for trying to monetize themselves, it's a sign that you're either not building anything or you lack the courage to charge for your intellect. Either way, those are both personal issues. And do you again see why seeking validation from the masses is unwise? Mind you, we need money to live, but people will be offended that you're trying to make more of it. Mind you, people will say support small businesses, but crucify you the moment you actually start selling to said people. If you haven't noticed, people are confused, and you can't make that your problem. Not if you want to keep your sanity anyway. And this is one of the many reasons why people say that elevation requires isolation. And I don't mean isolation in terms of you have to be alone, you have to be in solitude. However, isolation can also mean finding like-minded people and deviating away from people who simply don't understand what it is that you do. The masses I'm saying that with my chest. The masses will drag you down because most people are average. Most people are not doing anything meaningful with themselves or their lives. The masses lack courage. And when you desire to break away from that status quo, they are going to tear you up. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a solopreneur, if you are a creator, you need a community of like-minded people. And you honestly need to create your own community as well. Whether that's a paid subscription tier on Substack, an email list, or other form of paywalling or using resources where you are able to own your audience and your community. At the end of the day, using social media for business should simply be a tool. It should not be the end all be all because social media is a rented space. At the end of the day, you can be deleted, you can be shadow banned, you can be muted. And not to mention that you'll attract the riffraff and the naysayers because social media is exposed to the public and God knows who. You need a safe space where you are able to express your perspectives and your viewpoints freely. But while you are on social media and using that as a tool, you need the resilience to sustain yourself and keep your sanity while you're on here. Again, resilience is a skill. And as always, pretty girls learn skills. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching and thank you for staying with me. Speaking of creating your own community, make sure you subscribe to my Substack, The Brainy Barbie Blueprint. And make sure if you already have subscribed to the free version, make sure you upgrade to the paid one. So that way you can hear me even more unfiltered and raw than I already am. And also so that way I can do more interaction and we can have a safe space of like-minded people. Again, we need a space away from the riffraff and the naysayers. So if you are looking for a place to connect with like-minded people and to, again, not be harassed by people who don't get it, make sure you upgrade. Also, as I mentioned earlier, I recently dropped a prompt engineering playbook, the Brainy AI prompt playbook. At the end of the day, we all know that AI is here to stay. And prompt engineering is only increasingly going to become an in-demand skill. So that playbook is what I wish I had when I first started learning about AI and how to use it in a more meaningful way. At the end of the day, it can be overwhelming and intimidating on the surface. So if you want a place to start, that playbook is the right fit for you. Make sure you download my free guide as well, the Business Alchemy Blueprint, where I talk about the skills needed to succeed in the future of work, specifically through content creation. And finally, I offer one-on-one sessions, the Skill Stacker session, in order to have a personalized game plan and strategy. And any type of questions or concerns you may have, it's an opportunity to talk one-on-one, live, and direct. But that is all I have for you. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.